Hello, welcome everybody. This is the first episode of StatX Radio, where we're going to be talking about ourselves, stuff that we have going on at StatX, and current events and anything pop culture orientated. That includes video games, movies, music, whatever the hell we want to talk about. So welcome out. My name is PJ. I have a YouTube channel called JOKJAYOHKAY, and I'm a part of StatX Media. I'm one of the only faces you've seen so far on the StatX Media YouTube channel, except for Zach. And Zach is here. Say hi, Zach.
Yo, what it do?
All right. Well, there's Zach. And the other one we got is Alejandro Segovia.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So Alejandro here. Can you give me a little bit about yourself for the audience at home?
Well, I'm a longtime friend of PJ that we met together when we were in college. I actually live currently in El Salvador, located in Central America. I graduated in PR and I like writing. So if you've ever seen any reviews from StatX Media, one of those might have been mine, or the majority of them.
Or the majority, yeah.
So.
We're going to throw out a little bit here at the beginning. Let's go ahead and start with some small plugs, and then we can end with some more plugs, just because we're all about plugs here. So the number one thing is ultimately we do have more content coming on the YouTube channel. That is definitely something that is not dead. And if there's anyone who's a fan of the Pop Culture Podcast and you're wondering, wait, is this a different podcast? Yes, it is. The Pop Culture Podcast is not dead. It has a very slow release schedule because of what Joel's going through at the moment. That's completely okay. It's its own entity. But this is the official StatX podcast or StatX Radio. So this has Alejandro, Zach, and I, three of the big heads on charge of pretty much the entirety of the group, and pretty much some of the lead creative team. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. That's funny. Zach is pretty much one of our biggest, what would you call yourself? Creative mind of sorts?
Creative force.
Yeah, something. Creative. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, he's a creative something. Anyway, so Zach, I, and Alejandro here are pretty much the three people that will be hosting this and moving forward, and we'll be having guests from StatX and guests from other places. But anyways, we have some big news. Today is May 9th, 2019, and it is Goku Day. I just want to have a quick shout out to Dragon Ball Z. I love you, Akira Toriyama, personally. I know, Zach, you haven't really watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z, correct?
Nope.
And Alejandro has not seen Dragon Ball Z.
I actually have.
You have?
Yeah, a few times I've seen it. I remember seeing the episode where Goku died. Spoiler alert.
Oh, God.
Goku dies?
Which time?
Yeah. Probably the first time. And then it was and he was like running in the clouds, and then Gohan was trying to survive or something. I remember seeing that, but I haven't seen the entire thing, but maybe one day.
Yeah, you should. It's great. Anyways, happy Goku Day, wherever you are, you Super Saiyan God. Hope everything's going well with you, even though you're not alive. And today's your day. But also speaking of today, we had good news with Goku Day, and we have some bad news. So to start with some news, then go back to what we're doing, let's mention, I want to hear your guys' opinion on this, on the Pro Jared case that kind of went on today and what's going on with that. If you guys need any information, I can tell you, but I kind of want to hear your guys' opinion on all this.
So just a little background here. I know Pro Jared is one of those old YouTubers. I wasn't too big in the YouTube scene until like very recently. So I know I've seen that name kind of floating around once in a while, like with JonTron and all that.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, even if you didn't know about that, man, the internet really went all hyenas on him.
Oh, absolutely.
The internet was the hyenas to Pro Jared's car, to do a little Lion Kick reference. And my God, that subreddit was I won't even say it. It was just quite a mess.
It's pretty bad. But let's mention this. Hold up. Oh man, this is gonna be great. So, oh Jesus, Pro Jared has lost a lot of subscribers today alone. He's lost over 100,000 subscribers in one day. He was over 1 million, and now he's in the lower 900,000. Pro Jared Plays has lost a lot. His personal channel has lost a lot. But the problem with all of this, in my opinion, is that there is a lot of collateral damage going on. And what this means is that his friends are losing not entirety, it's not a word, is losing a lot of subscribers pretty much. So Peanut Butter Gamer, Commander Holly, which by the way is the problem of all of this. For people who don't know what's going on, the background of this, Pro Jared was, do you want to mention that, Alejandro? Do you want to mention the actual problem, what's going on, why everyone's actually mad at Pro Jared?
I think you know him more, so I'll defer it to you. I'll just say
okay.
it's pretty bad.
So Pro Jared was found cheating on his wife. Yeah, it's very, very bad. I mean, I was trying to think of a snarky comment, but I couldn't think of one except for outside of what was his name? Freaking the golfer.
Tiger Woods?
Yeah, Tiger Woods. I don't follow golf. Sorry for everyone at home who is upset at me. I don't follow golf at all. Yeah, it's very Tiger Woods moment. So they're getting a divorce. He's just being a baby about it. He blocked her on social media. Turns out that there's a lot of leaked nudes from him. Also leaked chats of him talking about his enormously large, flaccid member. And very inappropriate, and a lot of very inappropriate things. And he cheated on his wife with somebody from Twitch that he knows as a part of his Waffle group or whatever it's called, Waffle Circle. I don't remember. It's pretty much their D&D group that they do a lot of D&D stuff together. And anyways, yeah, so it's Commander Holly is her YouTube, I believe. I don't know what her Twitch is. I don't actually follow her at all, but I remember seeing something about that this morning on Twitter. But man, was Twitter a crap fest this morning. Waking up, one of the first things I do every morning is I check Twitter, then I check YouTube. And when I check Twitter and I see all these like anti-Pro Jared things, and I'm like, well, I already didn't like Pro Jared because he has the face of somebody that just isn't lovable in the first place.
You just want to punch him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, you look at his face and you're like, you want to punch this dude. So I was like, I mean, obviously I didn't follow Pro Jared. I'm not subscribed to him. I don't really care, but I knew who he was because that's around my era of YouTube that I really enjoyed like watching content from, and I still follow. And so like Peanut Butter Gamer, I followed him for a long time, and I still follow JonTron to this day, and I think he still makes some of the best videos of all time. Anyway, especially the Flex Steel videos. I mean, if you haven't seen that, you're crazy. Go watch that.
I'll say, as an interject, now you mentioned JonTron, it's so funny that the only times that I've heard about all these YouTubers has been through controversies. Like JonTron, the first time I heard of him was the whole thing with the racism back in 2017, and then I figured
thankfully
out
that's blown over. Yeah, he actually had a legitimate apology about that, and he cleared up his name pretty decently. So thank God for that. I'm excited to see how Pro Jared handles this and his cheating scandal. And if you've ever wanted to see a scrawny little gamer boy naked online, well, there is leaks of his nudes everywhere on Twitter.
And
go look for it.
Hard to find.
They are not hard to find. Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
They are. Twitter is rampant with that Pro Jared member. I'll tell you that. So, anyways, moving on from pretty nasty things and talking about our morning activities and just our normal day of seeing naked Pro Jared. What games have you guys been playing? I want to know because I know that Alejandro, you've been working on Days Gone nonstop.
Oh, sure recently. I had.
You want to mention about some of the games you've been playing recently? You make a small, like minute-long conversation here about I don't know specifically what games.
Sure. I've been trying to work on the Days Gone review. I was trying to cram in to try to hit it by last Friday, but then I realized that's not a fun way to play that game. So I was like, you know what? It's gonna be ready when it's ready. It's a game that I hated when it started, and I hate saying that you have to wait for certain games to get good at a specific hour, but this is one of those games. Like, for real, I'm like 30 or 40 hours in, and I'm liking it more and more. And like, I've kind of reached that point where the story is supposed to reach a point of no return, and I'm just kind of doing all the side activity, killing a bunch of zombie hordes. I'm very crazy OCD, so I've kind of been enjoying that now. And as a side, I've been like breaking my head trying to beat Cuphead again on Switch, which is actually a really nice sport. So those are my two games that I've been kind of alternating with.
So would you say that Days Gone's reviews are well-deserved? I know it's been a hot minute since you probably looked at one of the reviews, but I know IGN gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, I actually would say most of those reviews are actually undeserved.
Really? Okay.
Because I've been doing some digging, and they got the game really early, like a month ago.
Yeah.
Because of course it's a big game, but the patches weren't ready. And boy, I've been looking at videos. That thing was broken. Like that thing was like bad, in the state that they were reviewing it at.
Yeah.
So those reviews are accurate from a certain point of view. The game that you're playing right now, 7 patches later, it's actually pretty clean. Yeah, it has some jank. So it's like they're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's.
What was
yes
that, Zach?
and no. Yeah, what did you say, Zach?
I asked if it already had 7 patches.
Yep, it already had them, which it's a problem in itself. I think if you're going to have 7 patches within a week of the game coming out, you should have delayed it, but that's a conversation for another day. But I'll say that it has a 72 on Metacritic. I think it's in the high 70s. It's not great.
72.
But it's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's good. It's not the best PS4 exclusive. We can talk about that later, but I'm having fun.
That's another conversation for another time. What about you, Zach? Have you been playing any games recently?
Really, the only game I've been playing lately is Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs. Wait.
So how's that been? Because I've been trying to
I've
get
never played
into that game, but it always slips me.
I mean, you don't really like the culture of San Francisco, so you're probably never going to like it.
Yeah,
Me or him?
No, me. I have
okay.
I don't like that liberal culture that permeates that place, but let's not get political. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just fun, colorful thing, and it's not a really serious game, and I don't super care about the plot, but I really like the gameplay. I like going to stealth take down the thugs of San Francisco and the Umani Security Corp, and then just driving around a pretty city.
So, quick question. Are you just mainlining it, or do you like playing, doing all the side quests and all that? Because I want to know how long it is. Because it's downloaded in my backlog, and I kind of want to knock it out.
I've been doing a lot of side quests. I'm at the last mission of the game, and I've just been doing side quests from this point on, but the side quests aren't really worth it, in my opinion. You just go to a place, hack it, and then done. There's no real little story to the side quest.
Nice. Well, I guess it's going to sit in my pile then for a while. So, PJ, how about you?
Yeah. So I've actually been playing a lot of games because I just got some money because I just graduated college. Actually, well, I graduated college a while ago, but I walked, so a family gave me some money. So I decided to splurge, and I bought a few games. I've been playing. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I quite excited to spend more time doing this and working full time, so I can have money to do this more. And I'm excited to see more content come from it. But regardless, enough like ass kissing. So I'm playing a few games right now. I'm not fluent in Japanese, so I'm not going to be able to pronounce it right. But Taiko, Drum and Fun, pretty much that drum game on the Switch and PS4 where it's like that. I don't know if you've ever been to the arcade and you've seen the like drumming thing that they have. It's like a giant like Japanese like drum pretty much, and you like hit the side of it and the top of it with the sticks and play certain songs. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not. Yes, no?
Nope.
No, never seen that, Alejandro?
I actually haven't.
Interesting. It's in like, I know if you go to any Eastern like continent, it's in every single like arcade. It's a little bit more rare in America, but anyways, they release it here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Taiko Drum and Fun. It's a lot of fun, hence the name. If you like drumming or rhythm-based games, it is awesome. I love being able to play as Kirby and drum to the theme song of Dragon Ball Z, Happy Goku Day. And yeah, it's just pretty cool hearing the Dragon Ball Z theme song while I see Kirby bang out on a drum for it. It's just interesting. I don't know if I've ever found anything more interesting than that. Also, and then also the One Piece theme song. That's pretty cool. Then they have the Kirby like melody, and they have like. Anyways, it's awesome. Been playing that. I've also been playing Swords of Ditto, which by the way is an amazing game. I've never really played much of Devolver Studio, but I remember last year, I think it was last year, 2 years ago at E3, they had their own press conference. You should.
They're nuts. Just to say that. For anyone that has never seen a conference from Devolver, just I don't want to say pause the podcast and go watch that thing, but my God, if you want to have a laugh, go watch one of those.
Weird. It's next level. It's weird. Yeah, it's like a dinner theater, really, as a conference and as announcements. It's odd, but anyways, the funny thing is that their newest game, Swords of Ditto, doesn't seem like something that came from Devolver, in my opinion. Like going and seeing their like crazy conferences. Oh, someone
Yeah.
just dipped. That was weird.
Yeah, they're becoming more prolific and more varied with what they publish.
Yeah.
Because Devolver was like, when I remember it was at E3 2015 at the Sony conference that they had a little indie section,
Yeah.
and it was like the very ugly pixel art with like very bloody stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I always
Yeah, but there's like
associated Devolver. So
yeah,
when you
there's
see
no
that this is
blood in
Devolver,
Swords of Ditto. There's no blood in Swords of Ditto. It's very cartoony. It seems a lot like It'll Do, but it's really neat because it's you can play it cooperatively with another player. But I think the coolest part about the game, which I actually haven't even seen myself because I'm gonna flex a little bit. I'm pretty good at the game, so I haven't died yet. But if you die, you pretty much respawn in a new era, is what it seems like. And so every time, not what it seems like, it's what it is. So if you die, you respawn in the next era, and the boss at the end of the game gets stronger and stronger and stronger the more you die.
So, quick question, because I was like, since you mentioned that game, I was trying to glance at some of the reviews when we're talking off screen.
Yeah.
They say that a big problem is the grind. Do you agree with that? Is it grindy, or since you like that kind of game, that like you're just used to it, or is that something to be wary of?
I mean, it could probably be grindy if you died a lot. And I'm not going to be the whole guy's like, hey, get good, scrub. But honestly, get good. Like, it's I haven't. So, like, let's put it this way. I haven't died yet, and I haven't even gotten close. And I'm not even really grindy. It takes like a second to kill something that's in front of you. So I kill everything that I run into. So I have no problem. And there's a lot of dungeons you have to go to anyways, and I like exploring, so I'm doing side quests and stuff, and I'm just getting experience from that. And right now, the last boss, technically, Mormo, is level 6, and I'm level 7. So I can probably beat her. But if I die, I think she goes up a level. I think that's how that works. I haven't seen yet. But anyways, it's $15. If you like the Zelda-ish or It'll Do-ish kind of games, like, I recommend you go and check it out. I'm a huge indie title buff. I love this game a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It took a second to grow on me. At first, I was a little skeptical. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. I may not really like it. And once I got into the game, I actually really do like it. I will give it one major complaint that I have is that you're right with grinding, not experience-wise. I think experience is fine. I think it takes forever to get gold. And dude, and I mean like forever. Like I've been saving up for 1,000 gold just so I can buy one of the like minor items I'm trying to get, and it took me like 5 levels to get there. It was insane. So, it may just be
for $15 though. I think that sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah, no, it's great. I've played a lot of it. I bought it 3 days ago, and I'm almost done with the game. And I've been putting in a lot of time into it, so I'm pretty happy. And if you know me, remember how Resident Evil 2 only lasted me 2 days?
Yep.
This game has lasted me 3, so I've gotten more out of this game than I got Resident Evil 2. So go check it out. So that's it. But talking about video games, for everyone who doesn't know or hasn't read our article from earlier on this year at our stat, which, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're not following us on social media, what the hell is wrong with you? Go follow us at Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. It's at StatX Media. That simple. StatX Media. It's like exactly the name of this podcast, but replace radio and put media. You'll find us. It's pretty simple. There's
a pretty big word to spell, though, PJ.
Media?
Yeah.
Or X?
Well, both.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah. So go back quite a ways, back into like January, and you'll find an article that Alejandro wrote. Kudos to you. That we're still wondering if it holds up, and so we're going to mention that. So
it's a thing.
Hold on. There's an article about the upcoming games to look forward to, and so now since we're about a third of the way into the year, let's talk about, or even more, actually, we're more than a third of the way into the year. Let's mention how are those games? Because
it's a good segue because I have the article open here. It's actually called the games to keep an eye on in the first half of 2019, and I'm kind of glad we put that instead of most anticipated because
absolutely, because some of these definitely were to keep an eye on, and as in keeping an eye on, so you can watch and enjoy and grab your popcorn and eat while you watch it crash and burn Like
Oh yeah.
how bad of a game they were. Whatever that metal.
Left Alive.
Yeah,
Left
there it is.
Alive.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
So
that
let me
was
take the
exciting.
rein here. So yeah, we picked a few, and I'll say from this list, I don't know if it's quite an indictment of what 2019 has been, but I still think Resident Evil 2, best game that has come out this year, a remake. So boy, 2019, that's quite the start. So yeah, Resident Evil 2, that was actually our first review. We gave it a 93. And I still stand. That was a really freaking awesome remake. Do you still stand on your review, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Zach, do you play it?
I never got a chance to play it now.
Oh man, yeah.
Download. Do you want to? If you do, you can share one of our accounts. We can talk about that afterwards. But if you want to play it, we'll absolutely give you we'll give you access to the Status account, so you can play it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll say shout out to Capcom that I think they've been doing really awesome stuff for a couple of years now. Like since Resident Evil 7, Monster Hunter World, even something later in this list, Devil May Cry 5 that I haven't played yet, but apparently it was like really good. They've had hold it together, and I'm quite happy because Capcom was kind of rough for a while.
And a quick segment here on the Capcom things before we come back to this. I want to mention that Capcom has there's no date on it or footage of it, but it has been announced that they are remaking Resident Evil 3 in the same way they did Resident Evil 2.
That was from the trademark, right?
Yeah. Well, not just from trademark. They also asked if we wanted it, and they said yes. And then someone pestered them at a press conference, and they said yes, it's coming.
Yeah.
So it's coming.
Resident Evil 2, huge commercial and critical hit. They'd be dumb if they don't do 3.
Absolutely. 3's coming. 3's coming. Oh, yeah. And I'm interested to see if they ever do 4. That's going to be weird.
Yeah. And next on the list now.
Actually, Resident Evil 0 would be great. I want a Resident Evil 0 remake. All right. Or Code Veronica. All right, let's move on.
So the next one in the list, this one I think it's a little divisive. Kingdom Hearts 3. So after 13 years of wait, the long-awaited, whatever entry it is, it finally came up. And I did the review of that one, and I gave it a 95, and that's a review that, in a way, I still stand behind, but the more I've thought about it, it's like, yes, it's like, after 13 years of wait, Kingdom Hearts 3, definitely not worth the 13-year wait, I'll say that. It's still a fun game, but especially if you're into that series, thankfully I was, and I replayed the entire series before playing that thing, so it was like,
wow.
I was already...
The entire series?
Yeah, through all the collections. I did all that. That was back in 2018, I did
That's
all the
freaking commitment, man. Good job.
No, that's the thing, because I was in the mindset, the things that bothered people about like the saccharine storytelling, the way, because I know you have a problem with how like the dialogue is said and all that.
Absolutely awful.
It's like, it's when you know that it's been that way all the time, it's like you accept it. That's a kind of series that you either love or you don't. Like the people that give it 9 out of 10, yes. The ones that hate it, it's not gonna convert you. I said that in the review, and I still stand by it. Still the biggest seller of 2019 so far. So
I'm gonna give you a little ship here, and that's ship with a P, because I can't say the other word because of ad revenue. Anyways, so I'm going to give you a little bit of this here. So coming from somebody who also likes Sonic the Hedgehog, you are telling me that since it has been bad the entire time, it's an excuse for this game to also be bad?
Oof.
From a certain point of view.
But then you're also gonna give me flack on how Sonic is. I agree with you. So as a Sonic fan, I am not blind. I realize that the majority of Sonic games are complete crap, and they are, absolutely. Anything after Sonic, even a little bit of games before Sonic Generations, actually, were awful. And games after Sonic Generations were awful. And like Sonic Mania was the only redeeming quality of Sonic in the last so many years. But anyways,
I'll say though, I think other Kingdom Hearts games were better than 3. Okay. It feels a more even keel, and I always stand that. Remove the stupid story and the convoluted thing, they're fun to play. Like gameplay wise, I think like if anyone likes a beat 'em up, I think it stands well. So it hasn't changed. But again, it's a taste thing. And
we need an answer on something that's kind of the elephant in the room now. So you're telling me that this game got a 95, whereas Resident Evil got a 93, and yet you think Resident Evil is the better purchase of the year?
Yeah, but again, like everyone is entitled to opinions. I tell you, I think Resident Evil 2 is a 10. So,
Not really.
but
Okay.
that was me. Like, if we would have scored it, I would have given it 100 if I was doing the review. So,
Wow.
like, just as a just
Had
as a
some flaws.
example, yeah, I know, but it's
Replayability.
like I still say that just based on like the experience and how like tense I was, I haven't had that experience in survival horror like I did in RE2, and to me, that's like the best survival horror game I've ever played personally. So
Yeah, it's
that's why
super good.
that's why I still say that. And yeah, and again, like whenever we reach Game of the Year, we're not gonna be beholden to what the scores are because time changes the opinion again.
Yeah,
Would I
that's
have
true.
scored? Would I have scored 95? Kingdom Hearts now removed. I think it would have been 85 right now. But remember, reviews are at time and place. Time changes opinion of things like Red Dead, but we can talk about that thing later. Moving on
that's
from
the
Kingdom
thing.
Hearts, there was this one day in February where there were like 4 games that came out: Crackdown 3, Far Cry New Dawn, Jump Force, and Metro Exodus.
Okay,
From what I understand,
let's make a quick opinion on this. So
yeah.
I want you to say bad or good, and I will. Or how about this, Zach? Do you follow any game reviews? I don't know if you do or don't. I know you
Yeah.
do a lot of art stuff. No.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
I can do a quick one on the floor. Crackdown 3,
Bad.
mediocre. Yeah, bad.
No, bad or good. Just bad. Not worth it. Yep.
Yeah, bad, not worth it. Far Cry New Dawn,
It was good. It was good. I liked it. I played it. I was good.
Yeah,
it just wasn't
it's
popular.
Exactly, that's what I was hearing because I wasn't a big fan of 5. So.
Yeah, it just wasn't popular, but it was a good game. It was more a 5.
Jump Force,
bad.
From what I hear, yeah, bad. And Metro Exodus, I hear
it was good. It was good.
So.
Yeah, just again underplayed, underappreciated.
Yeah.
The entire series.
And now moving on to the biggest dumpster fire of the year.
Woo! Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah,
welcome to the Anthem cast, where we talk about how bad Anthem was. Oh my Lord. And I want you to tell me in the most dramatic way you can, Alejandro. I know that you wrote the review for it. Kudos to you. High claps to you. I refused to play that. I would have quit the game before I finished it. I would have sat that game down. It looks infuriating. However you pronounce it.
Infuriating. Yeah, infuriating.
I was waiting for Zach to correct me because he always corrects me.
Sorry, Zach. I beat you to the punch there. So Anthem. Holy crap. So I like looter shooters. So like one of those games where you get loot, like Destiny and Destiny 2, I played an ungodly amount of hours. I don't know why, but I just love that kind of game. The Division, I enjoyed. Even Division 2, which will come out later. Things that I like that as comfort food. So I was like, you know what? I kind of want something with Anthem. Like, it's BioWare. I know they had a trash fire with Andromeda, but that's their first real bad game. I bet they put all their baskets to Anthem. And my God, like, I doubt. I think if you want to talk about like biggest potential and biggest disappointment, like falling off a cliff, it's that game. Just start playing that game. Oh my God, the shooting's kind of fun. It's kind of beautiful. I don't know what people are so mad about it.
And then boom, 60-hour grind.
Yeah. And then they're like, here is the challenge of the Legionnaires, where you're going to do achievement-like challenges for you to unlock these towers, for you to continue the story. Oh yeah, and those things are bugs. So you have to kill 75 things? No, you have to kill 150 for those 75 things to pop up. Oh, you have to like fly from this point to this point without the thing crashing and then resets the whole thing. Yeah, right, just keep doing. Boy, I was like, I would rather play Andromeda again than going through that thing. And then when you finish it and they're like, yeah, we're getting ready to the Cataclysm. Oh wait, no, it's not. You're just going to fight a Titan that you have fought many times before. That is a complete grind. And then the story just ends, and they're like, you know what? We're going to continue the story. Here's our roadmap for the next 90 minutes. Oh, wait, the game's so screwed up that we're going to delay the whole thing because loot is bad, systems are bad, the game is breaking PS4 consoles to the point that like it feels like the most
consoles. Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was just a trash art back and back and back. And then they had a live stream like 2 weeks ago where they were supposed to say about the state of the game, and then they talk, oh, we're adding one stronghold.
Shizness, that sucks, man.
Sweet, and I'm like,
that's awful,
boy. And I know that it's sold well because of course it did, and I'm like, this generation has taught me to never write off anything. Like, let's not remember, Destiny 1 was bad when it launched, and then they turned it around. No Man's Sky,
that's what I heard.
Big disappointment, and it actually turned around. I actually played it when they turned it around. So it's like, yes, it's like things can turn around, but at this point, it's just like the breaking point. Like, just finish your game, Do stuff, and if you're not good at it, just do what you do best. I don't know why BioWare did this.
All right.
And
Well, in saying BioWare or talking about BioWare, let's take a timely moment of silence for the death of the company.
Yeah.
All right, that's all it gets. All right, so
moving on. So next in the list was Left Alive, which apparently is the biggest trash pile of like a straight up bad game that can't even be finished. Good thing I didn't even bother. Moving on.
Yeah, that's about it. So
yeah,
I would say
oh yeah,
Devil May Cry was great. Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
I was just about to say let's ultimately I think we can agree like I think the best games to come out of that list was pretty much Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil and Kingdom Hearts 3. About it.
Yeah, well, and The Division 2 was also in this list, which
would you say that was really good? Like,
I actually yeah, because it's the only looter shooter that launched complete.
Okay, that's good.
So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. And
Sekiro,
Days Gone is okay. Oh yeah. Oh man, I forgot I reviewed that. Yeah, I completely forgot the game released. Yeah, the game this year's been okay. It's not been great.
It's been fine. It's just
it's very slow.
And 2018 better years so far.
Yeah, it's been. Well, you may be eating your words here in a few months because second half of the year looks up to be lining up for some really big hitters.
Exactly. If this can be the opposite where the other year started really strong throughout, but this one has like a slow start for a really awesome second half.
Oh man, there's so many good things coming out. I mean, just Borderlands 3 within itself looks great, and not a whole lot of I don't even want to talk a whole lot about that because it's its own conversation for another time. But Borderlands 3 is definitely my most anticipated game of the year. Absolutely.
I'm there with you. Then followed by Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
because let's not forget, Respawn Entertainment is having quite a year because we didn't put it on this list because we didn't even know it existed.
No one knew it existed.
Legends.
Yeah,
Apex
absolutely.
Legends, like the big breakout this year.
How can we tell people to have their eyes on something when everyone is blind?
Exactly. So I think that's kind of good that game had that kind of pull because I don't play multiplayer shooters. That had me good for a week, and I pride them because I don't like battle royales, and that one had its hooks in me way longer than others. So shout out to that. And really quick with the other ones, Yoshi's Crafted World apparently was really good. Yep. Mortal Kombat 11 has a microtransaction snuffle, but apparently the story is like the best in the series. So can't wait to play that.
Except for the final boss. The final boss is everyone has been complaining about, including my friend Aiden last night. Which, quick shout out to him. He just turned 21 last night, so we had quite a banger breaking him into his 21st.
Happy birthday, Aiden.
I hope he's okay somewhere taking some ibuprofen because he had a lot of drinks. Anyways,
and then Days Gone. Already talked about it. It's actually a good game. Moving on, and Super Meat Boy that got delayed.
Yeah, we have no idea when it's coming out.
Yeah. And then the last two games that I had on the list were Rage 2 and Crash Team Racing.
Which are not out yet.
Nitro-Fuel, so we'll probably have that conversation. So overall, good year.
It's okay. It's okay. The second half is going better. So if everybody who's like read that article and at least enjoyed it or hated it, I don't care if you liked it or didn't like it. I mean, if you don't like it, please tell us you don't like it. Tell us why. Maybe we can make
Thanks for the clicks.
Yeah, I mean, hey, free clicks. Yeah, haters improve us, right? Anyways, so we are actually making a part 2 of that soon, talking about the games that are going to be coming up, especially after E3 and during E3. We're going to be talking about the rest of the year and the game plan for everything that's left in 2019 and what to keep your eye out for.
I'll say this, that I'm a student of history, and this year is reminding me a lot of 2012. Kind of like that year.
That's going to be a big year. That's a huge year.
Because that year also Borderlands 2 came out. So it's funny that Borderlands 3 is coming out this year because that was the game that was the year before the new console. So it was like not quite bangers, but still good enough stuff to kind of like segue you out. So
I mean,
2019 has a good outlook.
I mean, you're talking about legitimately one of the biggest years in gaming history, though. I mean, you're talking the birth of Dishonored. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Mass Effect 3, Assassin's Creed 3, Diablo 3, I think. Diablo 3 is that year. Far Cry 3, Borderlands 2, Halo 4, and Dragon's Dogma, if you liked it or not, and then the Walking Dead series too.
And Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, we don't mention that here.
That was a big one.
Yeah, and for PC gamers out there, you got Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and that's one of the biggest games of all freaking time.
That's when it came out, right? And it also came out on PS3 and 360, if I remember.
Yep. And oh man, XCOM Enemy Unknown came out that year too, and Sleeping Dogs and Journey. Oh my god, that's a man. You're gonna be
game of the year. Yeah,
you're gonna be eating your words, man. There's no way this is gonna be 2012.
Yeah,
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, Mario Maker 2 coming out in June, so
that's coming up very soon. That's actually talking about Apex Legends revealing out of nowhere. Mario Maker 2 is definitely one of those things. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, this game's almost done, and here you go. And we're like, what?
I'll say this: we don't need long, drawn-out marketing campaigns anymore. Just wait until it's almost there. The game's almost done.
Seriously, it's the most effective release schedule because all they have to do, and it builds hype for itself. Because you announce it out of nowhere, and people are like, whoa, look at this game that no one saw coming, and then it's coming out, so everyone's excited, and they put their money into it. Exactly. If you give them a long enough time, people are like, yeah, I can wait. You know, or 6 months for this game, I can wait another month.
Or you give them enough time to think about it too much, and then maybe you don't even get it because you've been waiting for it for so long. So, yeah, I'm like, I hope that this Mario Maker 2 and Apex Legends model of like so close to release, like, when was the Nintendo Direct that announced Mario Maker? Was it February, I think?
I don't
so
remember.
It's like, so it's like, I like that, and hopefully we get more of that, especially with E3 coming.
Or April.
Yeah. Or maybe we get more state of plays that will randomly announce games.
Which, speaking of that, let's mention that. That happened today as well. So, which, by the way, just to mention, let's have it on record, May 9th, 2019 has been one hell of a day, starting with Goku Day. That's awesome. And then Pro Jared's penis online. That's great.
Also, Ghost Recon Breakout was
announced. I saw that. And then It Chapter 2 got its trailer, which quick side note, I'll make this really short. That is a movie to keep your eyes on for review-wise, because if it goes off of content of the books or the last series created, this is either the moment where it will break the entire series and it's going to be a terrible movie, or if it goes off of the first movie, it's going to be phenomenal. So it's either going to be one of the best movies of the year or one of the worst ones. I can't see it being just okay. So keep your eyes on this movie. And so moving on. We had the Final Fantasy VII Remake, had some stuff showed off today.
So it's so interesting that they had that because I think it was last year that they announced that they were restarting development.
Yeah,
because
Final
Fantasy VII Remake was being made by CyberConnect 2, which is like the guys that made Dot Hack and some Naruto games.
Yeah.
And then apparently like there was a big snafu with Square Enix. I mean, Square Enix in Japan, a complete disaster when it comes to development. They take forever to make games these days.
Awful.
So I was like, whenever that happens, like, there's no way we're going to see Final Fantasy VII Remake at all. And then that trailer happened in State of Play, and I was like, that's farther along than I anticipated.
It's actually a personal problem of mine, the fact that the majority of my favorite games come from Square Enix, because I never know when I'm going to get a sequel or anything.
Yeah. They did you dirty with Dragon Quest for so long.
Yeah, dude, oh my god. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11 was a great game, but we'll move on past that. And then also they announced Predator Hunting Ground, which we know nothing about except for the fact that it's a 4-player game against a predator.
It's made by the guys that made the Friday the 13th game. So if you like that, it's a version of that in Predator, now like published by with Sony Computer Entertainment Resources behind it. So I think it can be pretty good. And I think a few other things that they announced. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter World, they announced an expansion that's full of ice. I like snow myself, so I see myself going back to that game that consumed me in January 2018. And this quirky little game, Riverbond, the one that looks like
that looks really good. That looks really
3D
good.
Dial Game Heroes coming out this summer. Again, another game that just dropped out of nowhere. Please, publishers, do more.
All right, Zach, I want you to lead the conversation on the end game. For people who don't know, I have a rabbit, and it's making a lot of noise in the other room. So, Zach, you are our local comic book guy.
I like comics too.
Yeah, but you got nothing on Zach. I'm just gonna tell you, he's a physical copy holder. That's what I'm meaning. This guy.
I'm a level 22 virgin. I will never have sex in my life.
I think I've had enough conversations with Zach that I think I can stand toe to toe to him. But I'll take your word for it. Really?
How many comics do you own?
Of ownership, I think that's where he beats me. So
yeah.
But I got Marvel Unlimited and DC and the DC Universe app. So unlimited comics for me.
Boom. There you go. So technically everything. Oh my lord, Alejandro is level 23 virgin. Where are you gonna go, Zach? Oh my lord. Anyways, yeah, you guys mentioned Endgame. I'll be back. Pretty much my opinion is Endgame is good. So
What a strong opinion.
Yeah, it's a great opinion. Great movie.
Sweet. Let's take it away, Zach. You've been a little.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Endgame's the culmination of over 10 years of Marvel movies, and I think it absolutely lived up to all the hype. What do you think, Alejandro?
Absolutely. I actually I wrote the review for a static site, and that's actually my first 100% that I've given since we started this thing. Because even though it's not perfect, you can like find issues with how long it is, maybe, or some of the time travel logic that as soon as you start poking it, you can be like, huh, maybe they kind of messed up. You know what? It doesn't matter, because the fact that they were able to like stick the landing after 11 years of build-up, have a movie that like pays homage to everything, either overt or subtly, and then like and make it the biggest thing in the world. It's like, and for it to not fall apart, it's like they nailed it. It's in my favorite MCU movie. I don't think so, but I think you can look at it and be like, that's the crowning achievement of what they've been trying to build. Because boy, after seeing like how dirty they've done the DC properties over at DC.
Please don't talk to me about this.
Yeah, so it's like,
cry.
Yeah, exactly. so when you're like just compare and contrast, like, man, it's like hats off to Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers and Marvel and Disney for like being so patient and getting it so right. Because even though we're getting Spider-Man Far From Home literally in 2 months, boy, like it's so good to see that Infinity Saga that they packaged together. They ended it so well.
Oh, that's gonna be so expensive.
Yeah, just thinking about that Blu-ray. Just thinking about that Blu-ray pack. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane. The 22 movie pack, it's gonna be like close to 400 something. It's gonna be more than a freaking PS4.
Yep, I can see, and it'll be like and imagine it comes in with a Infinity Gauntlet collector, and actually an Infinity Gauntlet houses the discs. Imagine if they do that. That would be such a missed opportunity if they don't do that.
Oh well.
Call it Infinity. Kind of like your Halo helmet. That
Gauntlet, like the Power Glove from the Nintendo, but it just plays the movies.
Yeah. Or you
But bring it back to Endgame, man. It's so good to see that something build up for a good, strong ending, and actually stick with it.
So
especially compared to how other superhero stuff apparently are leading to not so good endings. So
let's make everyone cry at home. Local from Zach's brother.
Oh god.
Yeah, you're feeling you're vibing here. So I get sad just thinking about it. The fact that Stan Lee did not get to see Endgame is incredibly sad. We like to believe here at SetX that they showed him something a little early, so he was able to see something. But that's just being hopeful. And we hope that you be hopeful with us too and say that he saw something, because I don't want to cry. So.
Speaking of cry, so I'm a masochist myself, and for some reason I still watch the Arrowverse.
Oh god.
You Zach? So I'll stand that when that thing has been real good, it's been real good.
For everyone at home, as soon as they mentioned Arrowverse, I took a swig of a beer.
Yeah. So like, for example,
after lost opportunity.
Exactly. Like when shows like Arrow and Flash were at their peak, I was like, man, I can't believe they're doing something this good on TV. But man, just a few years later, especially in the Flash side, like that show's ending Arrow's ending at the end of this year, and they've had a little bit of an up and down trajectory and quality. I think they've had a good season in season 7. It's good that's ending in season 8 finally. Flash, though, has been a consistent downward spiral from the awesome moments from season 1 and a good season 2, an okay season 3, really mediocre season 4, and I actually would say a really bad season 5. Like, they spent 21 episodes setting a villain, and the twist is that their weapon is just the one thing that's supposed to take the main villain of the entire series out of jail at the very end. So it's like, do you make me waste time for 21 episodes? Like, screw you.
It's the worst.
Like, it's really like, I can't believe, like, that was my favorite show, and right now these days I'm like, It just bums me out. It really bums me. It just bums me because I've defended it from you, PJ.
Whose dog is that? First off, is that yours,
dog.
Alejandro? That's yours.
Yeah.
I love dogs.
Yeah,
And Zach, are you messing with your mic? Chill, dude.
Yeah.
I my mic.
I just wanted to maybe
No.
That must be Alejandro.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that because, boy, especially after seeing how good something like Endgame was, it's always sad to know that on the other side of the spectrum, you have other stuff that, boy, are just limping around. So who knows? Maybe the finale.
But you're right. I did call that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I defended it for you. So season 5, like, there's no defending. That's like what a bummer. But Arrow at least had a good season. So
that's good. Moving on, though, because
moving on to good stuff. That Sonic movie.
No, I saw that coming. I saw that coming. I so saw this coming. Oh my lord. Okay, so, anyways, as our local resident Sonic fan, oh god, what are you freaking fricks thinking? Like, God, this movie looks awful. God.
I literally have stuffed Sonic behind me right now that looks so much better than whatever they decided to cook up and to design that thing.
Oh my god.
What the heck?
What the freaking frick? Freaking frick.
I know, like you mentioned earlier in the podcast that you are a long-suffering Sonic fan, that you know that they've done you dirty. So this movie being like that is like so emblematic of the character. What's been going on with the character.
If I'm going to just be flat honest with you, I just don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of expected it. Like once they announced that there was a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, I don't think there was anyone that ever had any high hopes for it. They were just kind of like, oh yeah, that's going to be bad. And even when they announced that it was the creators of Fast and the Furious making it, like I still didn't have any hopes. I was like, yeah, it's going to be a bad movie. Then they announced it as a buddy cop movie, and I was like, oh man, this is turning out to be a freaking gold mine. And
then they brought Jim Carrey out of retirement to play Dr. Eggman.
Granted, I will give it one thing. If the movie is bad or good, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a gold mine for some of the best memes of 2019.
Bring it on, baby.
I'm pretty down.
Bring it on. And what do you think of that news that they're redesigning Sonic this late?
Yeah, I do want to say it's a little odd. I don't know where I stand on this, but I'll give you both of my opinions because I know it's weird to have two opinions, but I'm going to do it anyways. I love how the fact that they're actually caring enough for the character and caring after, which is weird because ultimately, let me put it this way. So the history of Sonic just kind of lays down, and its fan base kind of lays down that the fan base is okay with it something being bad because. It's the Sonic series. I mean, it's had nothing good going for it except for the comic books and some games every once in a while. So the weird part about this is that you're seeing Hollywood look at the Sonic fans, and Sonic fans are used to eating up bad content. Like, even if it's a bad game, Sonic fans tend to buy it, and some Sonic fans stand by it for some reason.
Yep.
So
you're long suffering.
And so which is again my long suffering. And so the weirdest part about the entirety of this is that it looks like Hollywood realized that Sonic fans wouldn't care, and they would release a movie, and people would eat it up anyways, even if you looked weird. But to their surprise, apparently Sonic fans did care, and they are really mad at how he looks. And so the fact that Hollywood is like, yeah, you know what? Actually, let's redo this. Like, is actually kind of exciting, but it's also a little odd because this movie comes out pretty soon. And so you're telling me that they have enough time in the next few months to sit down and reanimate Sonic completely throughout the entirety of the movie? It seems a little sketchy. And so here's some conspiracy theories that I've come up with or I've heard. So there's an idea that trailer that was shown was actually altered footage. And I know this is really weird, but I don't expect anything less from the Sonic community. So one of the biggest rumors I've seen is that it is altered footage, and they actually did this as a publicity stunt to get everyone looking at it and mad about it. And then they actually have another version of Sonic that has already been made for the movie, and they're just going to swap it out, and boom, there you go. Because there's no way the animators are going to be able to do that within a few months. Like, for how long this movie is. Like, there's no way. And if they do, kudos. This may be some of the fastest animating I've seen in, like, freaking history of humankind.
We got to go fast.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Got to go fast. And I'll say, though, that there's been a precedent of things being reshot and reworked very late and still hitting the release date. I think that worked for Justice League. Oh no, it didn't. So,
You're hurting
so
me.
and
Wow.
yeah,
Zach's
So
heart
sorry,
is
Zach.
crying.
We're crapping on PJ's favorite thing right now, not mine.
I know, but I mean, I would believe this would work if they were like, you know what, we're delaying this movie, but
I wish they
hopefully I would love to believe your theory because it does seem strange because it was like released, it was in May when that trailer dropped, and it's supposed to come out in November, so that's like June, July, August, September, October, just 5 months to redo the whole thing.
The whole
That's
fucking
like
movie. They're
yeah,
redoing
it's
the
over.
entirety of it. And also, I'm just going to comment on one thing. I know everyone likes Jim Carrey, but he's great as a role, but the writing is awful. Oh my!
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
I don't think reanimating Sonic is going to change how bad this movie is going to be. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I love Sonic, and dear God, would I love a great Sonic movie. But honestly, Zach and I, who write like amateur stuff for StatX, like behind the X, like. And granted, that's amateur writing, and that's better writing, in my opinion. And I'm a little biased, yes, but that's better writing than the doctor thinks you're basic. Like that's awful. It's like, is that your child in the back? No. Like that's.
It's not my child. It's someone else's child. Oh, no,
It's someone else's kid. Oh God, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And the fact that the tone of the movie is supposed to be set by Gangster's Paradise. That to me was like the emblem. That was emblematic of how they see that movie.
I saw a video today, but I have to mention this. I don't remember who's by. If someone knows who's listening to this, please put that in the comments or something. But anyways, or maybe I could put it in a link. Who knows? But there's a video that's talking about this, and they actually take the rate per minute for Gangster's Paradise. That song is one of the slowest popular songs of all time, and and it is slower than Frank Sinatra's slowest song. So you're telling me that Sonic, the character that's supposed to be about going fast, is going to be put on par with freaking Gangster's Paradise? Like, why? Like, give him something original. Why can't you write original music? Because like, if I'm gonna be blunt, everyone who's played any sort of Sonic game should know that Sonic has some pretty decent music, and if not great at times.
And what's so funny is that he works so well with anything more upbeat. I saw a video edit of someone actually putting the Mortal Kombat song, the one that they used for the Mortal Kombat 11 launch trailer behind it, and he was actually cool.
It's better. I'm telling you, Sonic's personality is based around, like, especially since the 90s, he's always been based around being this edgy, cool character that's about going fast and not following any rules, laws, whatever. I mean, he's a good person, so he's not going to go killing people. So he's not like not those kind of laws, but he's just like, he doesn't care. He doesn't have any care in the world. That's something that appeals to a lot of people. And you're going to put that kind of character, make him look awful, put him in a buddy cop movie, and then also put him against this like comedic Jim Carrey character that doesn't even play his villain right. And on top of that, put him into a slow song called Gangster's Paradise. Sonic's not a gangster. If anything, he doesn't associate with anyone. Granted, he's been on like record that he likes only a few people. and so like it's oh my Lord, it's awful. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it would have been so much better if they had an original soundtrack for it. Because if they had an original soundtrack for the movie, like hell, get Crush 40, the people who makes all the good like Sonic like rock songs, like the stuff that goes for Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, all those games, all like all the songs that have vocals to it with like heavy riffs on guitar. That's Crush 40. Get Crush 40 to make some songs for the movie or something.
So, just question. Crush 40 were the ones that played at the Sonic 25th anniversary party, right?
Yep, which I was there for.
Yeah, they should also get the screaming guy.
Oh God, yes. I mean, well, no. We're talking about how to make the movie good. But if we're talking about how to make the movie how it is, then yes, they probably get the screaming guy. They probably have Aaron Weber in there somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised. Aaron Weber's great, but he's probably not one of the best. Like, actually, I take the back. Aaron Weber's probably the best employee at Sega Sonic team. They're all super cringy. It's so bad. It's so bad. At least they embrace it.
But I guess the legacy of bad video game adaptations will always continue. Oh wait, it doesn't.
Except tomorrow. Actually, tonight, technically. It's May 9th, 2019. Yeah. Tomorrow is the official release of the first rated good video game movie, Detective Pikachu.
Of all time.
As of
right now, I think it's sitting at a 75% in Rotten Tomatoes, which, for context, like other video game movies always hover in the 10s, in the 7s.
So I have watched 7 reviews for this movie already. No joke. Just today alone. They flew out a lot of people to watch it early. And there's some people who had some complaints here and there, but ultimately, like, everyone ended up with the same thing. It's like, this is a great movie. Go and see it. Like, you're gonna like it.
I'm so happy because when I saw that first trailer around November last year, I was shocked because I was like, when I remember when they announced we're making Detective Pikachu.
Zach, are you good?
Yep.
Yeah. What was that sound?
People coming home.
Oh, okay. I was like, it sounded like a whale. It's trying to scream in the water. So,
I do want to know what Zach feels about Detective Pikachu as a huge Pokemon fan, though, as well. Zach, what's your
Pokemon trainer?
What's your end game for Detective Pikachu?
I am super hyped. I love Pokemon, and I really like the weird designs of most of these Pokemon, except for Apom.
Looks scary as hell. Apom looks scary. You're right, dude. Apom is unnecessarily scary.
So, Apom is my favorite Pokemon.
PJ, I want to pose this challenge to you for by the time the next episode that we record happens. I wanted to look at to go see with Detective Pikachu and count how many.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and count how many of the 150 original ones are in that movie.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like, see or even you, Zach. I think I'm gonna see it Saturday. I'm not sure yet, but let's see if we can. Let's see if we can count how many of the 150 they include in this thing, or if they even have ones from the Johto or the other ones. Like
so, as reference, everyone at home, don't get mad at Alejandro. He doesn't know Pokemon as much. Apom is not from the original one. We already know that. Ludicolo is not from the original 150. There's a lot of them that they've shown that's not from the original 150. But since you gave me the challenge to count the original 150, I will, because that sounds a lot more difficult than just counting Pokemon altogether. Because I'm going to have to look at a Pokemon and be like, yeah, that's from a certain generation. I'll put that in the number. So, ouch. Okay. So I'll do that. Zach, if you go and see it, try to count Johto.
Johto? Okay.
Yes, that works. You do Johto, you do Kanto, right? It's the...
Yeah, Kanto. And I'm just going to flat out say it now. I am not going to count signs and like images on the side or references to Pokemon.
It has to be the animated animal.
I want to see the actual thing. Yeah, because there's going to be reference to almost every Pokemon in the entire like Pokemon series, but I want to see it. I'll count it. So sounds good to me. I'm going to see that movie tomorrow, and I'm also going to see the movie Tolkien. If you know anything about Lord of the Rings, go see that movie. I'm not going to mention much about it except for the fact that it's a biography of Tolkien, and it looks really good. So go and see it.
I'm bummed that Tolkien's not out here yet, but Detective Pikachu comes out tomorrow here in El Salvador.
Yeah, go see it. Yeah, I want to know your opinion on that as someone who's not a huge fan of Pokemon. Maybe it'll get you to actually want to buy Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna buy Sword and Shield because I've been wanting a console Pokemon for so long, since like Pokemon Coliseum back in GameCube.
Yep.
So I never did the X because I think that was the one that came after Pokemon Coliseum.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't wait for there to be another full-fledged console game, and I'm glad it's actually gonna be like one of those handheld ones, but much bigger and with a character that looks like Zack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got your cosplay for Halloween, Zack. So I'm expecting some pictures on October 31st this year.
Oh God. Get ready. Get started on it, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on bulking / shredding a little bit muscle, and I'm actually trying to go for the Solid Snake look for the next con that I go to.
Nice. So, that's why you got that long hair, right?
Yep.
So
I'm actually kind of.
Yeah, you can put the bandana now, and.
That's the plan.
Kind of go for it.
Zach does movie makeup, so I'll have him do my my beard because my facial hair is nowhere near as good as his. That's about it. So that's really cool. Detective Pikachu is going to be great. Anyone who's listening to this, you probably have already seen it already. I would be surprised if you haven't seen the movie by the time you're listening to this. It's great. by the way, this is, again, May 9th, 2019, so you can keep us accountable for how long this takes to turn over and actually put out as a podcast, which may be a hot minute. So anyways, yeah, Detective Pikachu is going to be out, and you're going to love it. Endgame may have passed Avatar by now, which would be awesome. It Chapter 2
Super
came out today.
close.
Yeah, super close.
close.
I need it to beat Avatar. Avatar is like nothing against James Cameron, but it's
But
just
it's
the
the most
Avatar.
overrated movie of all time.
I hate Avatar so much.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so sick of white man comes to save the Native American stand-in.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
true.
basically the most
Oh my God.
expensive Pocahontas remake of all time.
I haven't even thought of that, Zach. Yeah, so as for everyone who doesn't know Zach, Zach is Native American, and that I can see that actually really sucks. I never thought of that. I always just thought of it as like aliens, but now since you mentioned that, I do see the like 1-on-1. That's really shitty.
And to me, like with Avatar, it's just not even watchable. So,
I'm sorry. Execute me. I just cursed.
good thing I didn't hear.
I'm coming home.
Yes. No, but Avatar is like, I've tried rewatching that movie and I fall asleep 30 minutes in all the time. That thing, it was all about watching it with 3D on the big screen. That was it.
Yeah.
I don't know why people like it. I don't think any people actually do. I don't know anyone that told me.
Can you tell me the name of the main character?
I think his name was Sam. No, that's the name of the actor. It's Sam Worthington.
It's Jake, by the way. But yeah,
you're right, Michael. Yeah, the case is made.
Proven point.
So,
They have a theme park. Do you know that?
Yeah, they do. It's at, and I'm actually really excited. I'm not going to deny. I'm excited for the other Avatar movies, not the first one, because it actually has quite high potential since the fact that now Fox has been bought out by Disney. Disney now has a high interest in getting people into their parks, into the Avatar Pandora park.
Yes.
And so I am kind of excited to see where Disney decides to take Avatar, because I think it's in the hands of the right group to make the movie franchise something beautiful. So
especially now that they're going to be alternating starting from 2021 between Avatar movies and Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
And I think we forgot to mention that this week Disney laid out its whole slate from here until like 2026. What they're trying to and I'll just say good on them on pumping the brakes on Star Wars. Star Wars being a yearly movie,
awful idea.
I think awful idea that backfired on them. Yes, I'm at The Last Jedi defender. Someone crucify me, but considering the kind of polarizing reception, the polarizing reception of that movie, and then followed by Solo, which was actually good and completely bombed at the box office. It's like Star Wars is no Marvel. You can't constantly pump it. Star Wars has always been an event.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. So speaking of Star Wars and Star Wars, the new Star Wars game coming up, what was it called again by Respawn?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order, that's right. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of that at E3, and E3 is coming up very soon.
Yes.
Let's mention, I know, thank you so much. Yeah. Anyways, so there's something to talk about at E3 2019, and I want to hear Zach's specific opinion because I haven't heard you a lot about this yet. So as all of us having a PlayStation and some of us having an Xbox, some of us not, but pretty much all of us are local to PC and PlayStation, is pretty much Sony is not going to be at E3 this year. What is your opinion on this, Zach? Do you have an idea why?
I didn't even know that was a thing that was going on.
Really? Oh my God. Okay. Really? All right. Well, let me just tell you this now. They're not going to be there because they're going to be somewhere else revealing the PS5 at some point. So that's my pretty hard-hitting opinion. And Xbox is at E3 because they're going to be announcing a new Xbox iteration.
And they're coming hard. They say they're hitting E3 hard this year.
I am excited. It's going to be the Xbox 2, and we're going to get no discs and online only.
Oh yeah,
that worked out really well, didn't it? They're at the top of the charts.
And how you share games is you just give your friend your console. Yep, that's how it works. And it's gonna be great. Or it can work at NFC compatibility. Someone brings their console over and touches it to the top of yours, and then you lose your license to the game, and then they can share it. They can have it. So, I mean, Xbox, you can pay me later for my great ideas, but
but I will say, though, even though Microsoft has been getting trounced this whole generation just on sales and just kind of like in mindshare, like what game have they had that has been like big or that people talk about?
Minecraft.
Like, Minecraft. But that's old. So just,
well, speaking of
yeah,
old, it's
speaking of
actually
Minecraft, yeah.
about to be 10 years old in next week.
Yeah.
May 17th, 2009 was the day that Minecraft has released, and we are now in May 9th, 2019. So in 1 week, we will be, week-ish, like 8 days.
And hopefully by then I'll play it.
Yeah, mention that. Oh my God. So if everyone who's out there wondering why the heck Alejandro is allowed to review a video game has never played Minecraft, I am also wondering this at the same time. So we are trying to get him in to play Minecraft with Zach and I, and we will keep you updated on how that goes. Hopefully we have him play by the next episode. If not, we'll have him play soon, and he will be able to tell us his opinion. And you know what would be even more fun, Zach? As we have Alejandro review Minecraft.
Oh,
for
boy.
its 10-year anniversary.
That'll be a fun one.
Want to see that.
Yeah. Me, I will have to study everything that has happened since it was in early access in 2009. All the way
we have you review it as a 10 years later thing. It's like we have you play it with Zach and I for the first time, and then you make a review for it. Like not written, but you can tell us. Yeah. We have to take him all the way to actually beat. Yeah, we have to get him a end dragon egg. That's about it.
Yep.
So cool.
Looking forward to it. Hopefully we get a free copy soon.
Yeah, we need you to get a copy. So anyone who's listening who wants to spend $20 to support us, please buy Alejandro a copy of Minecraft, because it's legitimately torture for him to not have played this game. So please support him in his cause. He needs food. And by food, I mean he needs pork chop. So please buy him Minecraft. So anyways, E3, Sony's not going to be here.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I haven't mentioned this, that the state of play that happened today, that's basically the replacement for E3. Them doing the Nintendo Direct style thing of randomly throughout the year, do a 10, 20-minute thing announcing random stuff. I don't know that I like it yet, because the thing I like about Nintendo Directs is that they have personality. I like the guy that pops up there to kind of MC the whole thing and do that thing. Hopefully you could hear that snap. But the thing with the fingers, I think it has that special quirk. And then when you see Sony's version of that, it's so robotic and very super fast paced that you tend to forget even what they announced. For example, today I even forgot that they announced a game called Away, the survival game where you play as a lemur.
Huh. That was a lemur?
Yeah, you play as a lemur trying to evade predators and all that. So
interesting.
So that's the thing.
I like to move it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so I find it funny that that's how they're deciding to trickle information now, and I worry that's how they want to go for it going forward. But my belief is that they really have nothing else to show. All the games of their big studios already know are coming. Yes, Days Gone already released. Now the last 3 ones, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding, those are known quantities. It's why make another conference to show another gameplay or more if they have nothing else to say other than a release date?
So let me put this on record. I sold my Xbox One, which, keep in mind, I have been a giant fan of Xbox since I was a kid. I did not like PlayStation. Crucify me for that, but I do now. I sold my Xbox because I found out that because for people who don't know, or you two who do know, I am a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. It's up there with Sonic for me. I love Metal Gear Solid. And whenever Kojima left and then went to go make his other studio, Kojima Studios, and then he announced that Death Stranding was going to be exclusive to PS4, and that Persona 5 was coming out in a week around the same time, I was like, you know what? I grabbed my Xbox One, all games I had for it, I went and sold it and bought a PS4 because I had been waiting for Death Stranding. Once Death Stranding comes, the prophecy of me buying a PS4 for these games are done. There's no reason I have a PS4 anymore except for exclusives and the fact that the console's great, but I bought my PS4 for Death Stranding and Persona 5. Persona 5 is probably one of the best games I've ever played. If you've never played it, go play it, please. And Death Stranding, I hopefully will also be one of my favorite games. It looks like a backpack walking simulator, but I hope it turns out to be a little bit different.
The fact that they had that weird gold mask guy in the last trailer that has a big lion dark thing that pops up shows me it's going to be an action game, and I can't wait to see what nonsense is going to be in Death Stranding. Will it come out this year? Of course it won't. Will it come out in 2020? Maybe. PS5 launch title or cross-gen game will sell Breath of the Wild? Looking likely. So
yeah.
That'll be fun one.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. Oh, and speaking of a game that's coming out, the new Zelda game. Well, not the new one, but the Link's Awakening remake. We're going to see that at E3. I'm excited for that. And we'll probably be seeing a new Smash Brothers character being announced. I'm excited for that.
It's time because Joker's already out and they haven't
even announced the next one yet.
Steve from Minecraft.
Yeah, Steve. Woo, woo. Yeah, and maybe we'll actually have Alejandro excited for Steve because you'll have played Minecraft.
Sure thing. I can pay my excitement.
or we can ask we can only hope and ask and dream for a default skin from Fortnite, but maybe we'll see it one day.
Oh, good old Fortnite. Oh, season 9 of Fortnite started today.
Yeah.
For all of you that care, go enjoy.
Not me. I don't care.
Nope.
I don't play Fortnite.
Yep.
I have a lot of friends in RAs that I had in college that played, but I never played it myself. I'm not crazy into that kind of game. Be honest with you. I mean, I have nothing really against it. I worked with a lot of middle schoolers last year, and they all liked Fortnite, and I saw them play it, and it looks fun, but I'm just not into it.
It's a game I respect more than I like. You have to respect how quickly they've updated that thing, how much they've changed it, and they did the Marvel crossover, and they've done it twice. So, there's something impressive. Like, this is the generation of the games as a service, of the games that constantly get updated, and they can hook you in for the long term. Yeah. I feel Fortnite is the one that's doing it the best. Even though I hate playing it, the shooting of that game's abysmal. Yeah, I said it. It's not a good shooter, but for some reason, it's people like playing it competitive.
Yeah, it's like Halo.
For them. Yeah. But Halo's good.
Yeah, Halo's great, but sometimes it was no, I take that back. Actually, I always like Halo shooting. I'm trying to think of what game I'm thinking of that had weird scatter shot stuff. Or was that Fortnite?
Call of Duty?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yep, it's Call of Duty. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's it. All right.
So I always check what Fortnite's doing, but I'll never touch that game again with a 10-foot pole. Not with Apex Legends. Now showing that you can have a battle royale that plays well.
Yeah, I love Apex. I'm just excited for Season 2 of Apex to roll around. Hopefully they fix the problems. Moving on real fast, though, I want you to comment on something. E3 coming up. I want to know, Zach, I don't know if you follow a whole lot of news for gaming-related stuff, but
nope, not really.
Okay, is there anything specific about this E3 that you're looking forward to?
I have no idea what's going on with this E3.
No idea. I mean, I mentioned some things earlier about the possibility of Xbox coming in really hard, possibility of PS5 being announced, Death Stranding.
Sony's not going to be there, so.
Well, they're going to have their own thing at a different time. So,
and there's nothing preventing them from doing a state of play the week of E3 or a week after.
They just won't be on the floor at the actual conference. Yeah.
I'd be so upset if they did that, though.
What do you mean?
If they just didn't go to E3 but still did something the week of E3.
They do that all the time. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo does that.
It's lame. I don't like it.
Nintendo,
I don't either.
Nintendo Direct already announced to be happening on June 11th.
Yeah, same thing. Oh, man. So, obviously, the Nintendo Direct is going to have the new Smash Brothers character on it. That's just a stupid assumption that it's not going to be there. And also the idea of, Animal Crossing is going to be on there, too. It's exciting. So, Zach, you're not interested for the possibility of more Pokemon being shown off, the evolution shown off? I mean, there's nothing you're excited for E3.
I don't know.
So, I mean, okay. Well,
great.
You're a very big hype man. That's why we have you here. Yeah.
So actually, the one I'm more excited for DC3 is actually Nintendo.
I am too.
Because,
absolutely.
Thanks to that Best Buy leak remember the one that said that had Persona 5 on Switch when it turned out it was that Dynasty Warriors thing in the end.
God.
Yeah, that was, you said you liked it, but I was like,
no, it's cool, but it doesn't replace Persona on Switch because people need to play Persona, and for some reason, people like you refuse to play it because it's on the PS4 and you'd rather play it handheld.
It's
dear God, I don't care. Why would you want to play a 100-hour handheld game? If whatever. Anyways, it's teach your own.
Yeah, but it's just more. They announced that there's gonna have Metroid Prime Trilogy, if you remember, and
yeah, I remember that.
If that is actually true, which by the way, I think it is, because
It would make a
Persona
lot of
5
sense
Switch,
for
and
that, man.
and I'm just curious because before I was playing Days Gone, I was like playing a lot of GameCube
Yeah.
earlier this year, and
Oh yeah,
I was
Metroid
going,
Prime.
yeah, I was going through old games, and for the first time, I dove deep into Metroid Prime,
It's a good
and
game.
then I loved it. I was like, but I was also so stupid when I was young because it was not my kind of game. I wasn't smart enough to be acute at the exploration and all that, but that's besides the point. Like when that leak happened, I was like, I'm gonna stop playing now because that would be so awesome to have it there with me, and that would be even my most anticipated game to come out this year if it for some reason is real and it's coming out. So hopefully, Metroid Prime Trilogy,
Yeah,
Nintendo
I'm
gave
excited
it
for
to me.
that.
And I want to see how they rework Metroid Prime 3 because boy, that game is like so built in with motion
Yeah,
controls.
absolutely.
How
Well,
would
you
you
can still
play
do
that?
motion controls.
Yeah, but how would
When it
you
comes to
play
motion.
it handheld? That I've been
You
thinking
don't.
about that. Yeah.
You don't.
So,
I mean, you set it down on the stand and you play it using the screen.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned they do. Anyways, moving on. I agree with you, Nintendo above. I mean, even though they may announce PS5 and a new Xbox, I'm actually more interested in Nintendo this year because, to be honest with you, I'm just tired of buying new consoles, and I'm like, if they're gonna announce a new one, cool. PS5 maybe backwards compatible with everything. That's neat. No, I don't really want to talk much about that,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
I'll
exciting.
say Xbox like really has to re-win me over because 360 I went first with them and then I switched to PS3, then Xbox One I got because they promised a lot of exclusives that then ended up not happening
Yeah, it
because they
never
canceled
happened.
half of them, and I ended up selling it again. And I kind of want to be part of the Xbox ecosystem again, but they have to show me. They have to
that
show me.
cool
Go
Yeah.
Zach.
that cool AR thing they promised that never got
Yeah,
talked about?
HoloLens.
Oh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
they're like,
HoloLens.
yeah, so it's like that would have been really cool, and then it just kind of petered out. And then Halo 5 was disappointing. Gears 4 was good. Gears 5 is supposedly coming this year, but I'm like, yeah, it's just more Gears, not enough for me to like pony up for another console. And then they announced that all digital console a couple weeks ago that's like only $50 cheaper than the disc one. At that point, why bother? So
Yeah.
it's like
Did
I want to get because I have a bunch of games that I would like to replay and I like their backwards compatibility, but yeah, I don't know what they could do to.
I mean, Nintendo will be doing a lot of things this year. I'm excited to see that. But I do want to mention something that's kind of like on a DL. Zach, you may know what this is. You may not. I don't know. But I know Alejandro does here. And this will be the last thing for gaming-related stuff. Then I want to cover something else. So, Nintendo. What about the rumor that Nintendo is picked up Scalebound?
That'd be huge. Like I know that there was a rumor, and I want to believe, but then Platinum talked about like what happened with Scalebound this week, kind of like in a very candid manner, how they failed and all that. And they're not talking about it as a thing that they're trying to revive. But I'd be happy to be wrong.
It may not even be Platinum anymore if Nintendo
Yeah.
acquired it, because Nintendo acquired Platinum, so therefore we may be seeing. I mean, we know they're still working on Bayonetta 3, so that might mean Scalebound might be somebody different. That'd be kind of exciting to see a dragons fighting with you. That's kind of neat. Anyways, moving on. That is everything that we have for video game content today. We've been talking a lot about video games, so I hope you like video games because you're going to be hearing a lot of it. But we also talked about some movie stuff. Sonic movie looks abysmal. Excited to see where that goes. It Chapter 2 looks great. Endgame was amazing. Detective Pikachu looks phenomenal. Can't wait to see it. And apparently Pro Jared is actually a male. And moving forward, I want to talk a little bit about us because a lot of this is stuff that people can get anywhere else. You can hear about video games a lot of places. You can hear about people's opinions of video games about a lot of places and in a lot of places. But the main important thing is that you want to hear the opinions of people you know and that you care about. And so therefore, we're going to give you some information about us so you can know about us a little bit more. So I didn't let you guys know this ahead of time because I want your true and honest opinion here. I want Zach, tell me a little like tidbit about yourself or something interesting about yourself.
All right. I'm Sir Zach V. Jones, first of his name, King of the North, Mother of Dragonites, and man, this season's really rough for me.
So yeah, this season. All right, keep going.
All right. So I lead the art team. I'm currently producing my first video for my channel, Pathological Loser.
Personal channel, is it up, by the way?
Not yet. It'll be up probably this weekend.
Okay, by the time that this podcast will go up, it should be up. So let's plug that. We'll leave a link to that in the bottom in the description of this. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on YouTube, it'll be in the description for his personal channel. Your first video is going to be an animatic, is that right?
Yeah.
An introduction to yourself?
Yep, basically the short little intros you see on top of YouTube channels will be my first video, and then the video following that should hopefully be up by June, which will be about robins.
Oh, robins, like the birds?
Or
Yep,
Robin, the DC comic.
I just love the birds. It'll be about the Robins, Batman's Robins.
Oh, nice. Yeah, as people who are interested in comic books or like anything superhero related, Zachary Jones here is your man. Go follow him on YouTube at Pathological Loser. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, Pathological Loser. He makes what kind of content would you say you're going to be creating on your channel?
It's going to be split evenly between nerd stuff and then just weird animatic life story type stuff that you see from a lot of animatic YouTubers.
I like that. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. You're going to be having just basically you're going to have like friends on there, other people on there. I'm just asking for a friend.
Starting out, it's probably just going to be me, and then I might start bringing you guys on for stuff.
Hey. Well, thank you. That's a big honor. I didn't know that you're
I'm down for some crossover.
Yeah, sounds good. Speaking of crossovers, we have something coming up on my channel, JayOhkay. We're going to be doing some Pokemon-related stuff because, Alejandro has not seen anything Pokemon or done anything Pokemon except for the first Kanto region. And so he's going to be drawing Pokemon, and Zach is going to have to guess which one they are. So it's going to be kind of fun. So that's my plug. Zach is a huge comic book fan. He's a really good friend, honestly. He's in charge of our art team. They've been doing some animatics over there, some comics that they're making. A lot of really big things, and we're excited to see what comes out of that. Aren't we, Alejandro?
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah. And fun fact for people who watch Behind the X, and if you haven't, please go watch it. Watch them. There's 2 episodes out now. Ooh. Anyways, Zach started out as an intern. That is true, isn't it, Zach?
That's true.
Yeah, he started out as an intern and very fast, however you say it, got to go fast. Quickly, yeah, very quick, thank you. Became one of the quote-unquote founders of the company. He proved his worth very fast and very quickly. I'm doing it again. Anyway,
I was saying that literally those behind the scenes, behind whatever, what was the show called? Behind the X?
Yeah, Behind the X.
They wouldn't exist without him. Like, for real. Like, they're the reason, like, he's the reason why that thing was able to launch.
Yeah, it's great. And we're excited to see where it goes forward too, because spoiler alert, there's a very small possibility or a very big possibility. I would like to say big, but I don't know from Zach's side that we may end up be moving under the same roof together at some point very soon. So therefore, we can be making content a lot quicker. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot faster.
Yeah. Dang it. a lot faster. I used the wrong term again. Yeah, a lot faster. And so that's going to be exciting. So BTX will be coming out a lot more frequently. That's the right one. I said it right. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so yeah, Zach's a great guy. We're excited. He's one of the big names, big honchos over here. There's actually, to be honest with you, there's more people on the art team than there is any other team that we have at StatX, and that's kind of exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you hold that on your shoulders, Zach. You have probably some of the most responsibility of any of us. So don't fail. We're all watching. Anyways, so then
some cool art coming soon.
yeah.
Mental breakdown coming this winter.
And then there's myself. My name's PJ, or my first name's Parker, but my middle name is Jay, so I go by PJ. Anyways, so yeah, I said my channel name earlier. It's JOK, JAYOHKAY. It's just something personal on the side that I love doing. But, we have our own channel on YouTube that you guys are listening to this hopefully on right now. It's the StatX Media channel. And I also did our Sekiro review and some other stuff on there, including the Pokemon reaction and et cetera. And
also, and not just the Sekiro review, you did also StatX's first video review.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I did the first video review on there. Excited to see where that goes. And, just a little bit of a plug here. Zach here and I and Alejandro actually have a lot of stuff in the works for StatX and for our own personal content as well that we're actually really, 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 really excited to put up. But we technically don't want to talk about it just because things might change. But we do know that a few things are coming, and I'll let Alejandro mention a www here in a second. But anyways, yeah, for me, something interesting about myself. I have a bunny. His name is Baxter. If you haven't seen my most recent update, I guess, video on YouTube, I showed off Baxter at the end. He's an awesome lop-eared rabbit. I'm graduated from Oral Roberts University. That's where I met these two other guys. Pretty interesting school. Glad to be done with it. And yeah, so I'm staying in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the moment, and I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, not of the modern stuff. Preferably Sonic Mania is my favorite Sonic game of all time. And
Great game. I just re-downloaded it.
It's a great game, man. I'm telling you, I'm a big video game nerd. I love media content. I have a minor in media stuff, and I'm getting even better by the day. I like making videos, and I like doing photography, like all this other stuff, and I'm excited to see what happens moving forward with StatX, honestly. I mean, I don't toot my own horn much, so if you want to mention something, feel free to. If not...
Fun fact of PJ, he was going to be a head APA, an academic peer advisor, right before the program got shut down. So.
Oh man, that's a story within itself. Yeah. So, oh man, yeah. You know what we need to do? We need to have a session on the next podcast where we just talk about ORU stories, like college stories.
Yep.
And that episode, let's not mention ORU by name. We'll mention it now, but we won't mention it next episode, so they can't hold it against us.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll tell college stories, because I know every single one of us has a college story either revolving around each other or but something weird in general about the school.
Like the way we met.
School. It's illegally. Technically, on my part. Sorry. Spoiler alert, Alejandro here was my RA, and I was smuggling somebody into my room. And no, it wasn't a female. It was a roommate that I should not have had. So that was fun.
We'll leave that story later.
Yeah, that story's for another time. And Alejandro, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, yeah, fun stuff.
And we're out of time. Don't forget to tune in next week for more of StatX Radio. Also, for all of our social medias, they will be in the description down below. Don't forget to follow them, and stay tuned till next week. And my name is PJ, that's Alejandro, this is Zach, and we'll catch you next week. Toodles.
I was Parker's RA back in 2016, and I was it's